Welcome to Mind Course, where we explore the most fascinating and thought-provoking topics. Today, we will take a journey through time and explore the history of Argentina, a country located in South America. The history of Argentina is a complex and often tumultuous one, with political upheavals, economic crises, and social movements shaping the country's development over time. From its colonial past to its modern-day democracy, Argentina has experienced many significant events and challenges that have influenced its identity and shaped its future. Pre-colonial era before the arrival of Europeans in the 16th century. The region that is now Argentina was inhabited by several indigenous groups, including the Mapuche, the Guarani, and the Inca. These peoples had developed complex societies and cultures, with their own languages, religions, and systems of government. Colonial period in 1516, the first European explorer to reach the region was Juan Díaz de Solís, a Spanish navigator who was killed by indigenous people upon landing. In 1536, another Spaniard, Pedro de Mendoza, established the first permanent settlement in the region, which he named Buenos Aires. However, the settlement was abandoned due to conflicts with indigenous groups and was not resettled until 1580. When Juan de Garay founded the city that would eventually become the capital of Argentina. During the colonial period, Argentina was a part of the Spanish Empire, with Buenos Aires serving as a key port for trade with other parts of the empire. However, the region was largely isolated from the rest of the Spanish colonies, and the population remained relatively small and underdeveloped. Independence and nation-building in 1810, a series of revolutions across Spanish America led to the collapse of the Spanish Empire and the establishment of independent states throughout the region. Argentina declared its independence from Spain in 1816, following a long and bloody struggle that had been led by figures such as José de San Martín and Simón Bolívar. The early years of Argentine independence were marked by political instability, economic uncertainty, and conflicts with neighboring countries, such as Brazil and Uruguay. However, the country began to experience a period of growth and modernization in the late 19th century. Thanks to an influx of European immigrants and the expansion of its agricultural and industrial sectors. During this period, Buenos Aires emerged as a cosmopolitan city and a center of culture and innovation, attracting artists, writers, and intellectuals from across Latin America and Europe. However, the country remained deeply divided along social and economic lines, with a small elite controlling much of the wealth and power. Peronism and military dictatorship. In the mid-20th century, Argentina underwent a series of political and social upheavals that would shape its future for decades to come. The most significant of these was the rise of Peronism, a populist movement led by Juan Perón, who served as president from 1946 to 1955 and again from 1973 to 1974. Under Perón's leadership, Argentina experienced significant economic growth and social reforms, including the expansion of labor rights, social welfare programs, and public services. However, Peronism also became associated with authoritarianism, political violence, and the suppression of dissent, and Perón's rule was marked by periods of repression and censorship. In 1976, a military coup led by Jorge Rafael Videla overthrew the government and established a dictatorship that would last until 1983. During this period, The military government engaged in widespread human rights abuses, including the kidnapping, torture, and murder of tens of thousands of people. The dictatorship was eventually brought down by a popular movement for democracy and human rights. Led by groups such as the Mothers of the Plaza de Mayo, who demanded justice for their disappeared loved ones. Argentina's history since the return of democracy in 1983 has been marked by political, economic, and social changes. The period following the end of the military dictatorship was characterized by efforts to rebuild democratic institutions and to address human rights abuses committed during the dictatorship. In 1983, Raúl Alfonsín, leader of the Radical Civic Union, UCR, was elected president in the first democratic elections since the military coup of 1976. Alfonsín initiated a series of trials of military officials accused of human rights violations during the dictatorship, including the trial of the juntas. 1989, Carlos Menem, a member of the Justicialist Party, Peronist, was elected president. Menem implemented neoliberal economic policies, including privatizations, deregulation, and currency devaluation. His government also passed laws granting amnesty to military officials accused of human rights abuses during the dictatorship. 1994, the Argentine constitution was amended to allow for the re-election of the president for a second consecutive term. Late 1990s, Argentina experienced a period of economic growth fueled by foreign investment and privatizations. However, this growth was unsustainable, and the country entered a deep economic crisis in 2001. 2001-2002, Argentina experienced a severe economic and political crisis, marked by hyperinflation, bank runs, protests, and political instability. President Fernando de la Rúa resigned in December 2001, and a series of interim presidents took office before Eduardo Duhalde was elected president in 2002. Duhalde implemented a series of economic and political reforms to stabilize the country. 2003, Nestor Kirchner, a member of the Justicialist Party, was elected president. Kirchner implemented progressive economic policies, increased social spending, and pursued human rights trials against military officials accused of human rights abuses during the dictatorship. 2007, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, Nestor Kirchner's wife, was elected president. Her government continued many of the policies of her husband's government, but also faced criticism for restrictions on press freedom and attacks on political opponents. In 2015, Mauricio Macri, a member of the Republican Proposal (PRO) party, was elected president. Macri implemented neoliberal economic policies and pursued closer relations with the United States and other countries. His government also faced criticism for austerity measures and human rights abuses. 2019, Alberto Fernandez, a member of the Justicialist Party, was elected president. Fernandez implemented progressive economic policies, increased social spending, and pursued human rights trials against military officials accused of human rights abuses during the dictatorship. Throughout this period, Argentina also faced a number of social and political challenges, including corruption, poverty, inequality, and tensions with indigenous communities. The country has continued to grapple with these issues in the present day. Today, Argentina continues to face its share of challenges, including political instability, economic inequality, and social unrest. But it also has a strong and resilient spirit, and a deep love for its land, culture, and people. As we conclude this journey through Argentina's history, we hope that you have gained a deeper appreciation for this fascinating country, and that you will continue to explore and learn more about its past, present, and future. We hope you enjoyed this video on the history of Argentina. If you found this content interesting and informative, please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for more videos like this one. Your support means a lot to us, and it helps us to continue creating high-quality content for you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.